Hi, so today I'm going to talk about how my ADHD diagnosis finally happened. It all started more than 4 years ago when I began experiencing severe mental fatigue. I was constantly tired, not just physically, but mentally. No matter how much I rested, my brain always felt on. At the same time, I started blaming myself for it. I didn't have a name for what I was experiencing, so I assumed it meant there was something wrong with me, that I was lazy, weak, or just not trying hard enough. That self blame was made worse by my relationship with my dad. No matter what I did, he would talk down to me and call me weird. So over time, I internalized that voice and began hating myself for struggling with things that seemed effortless for other people. By my third year in med school, I had reached a breaking point. I'd been lonely for 7 years, going through life without a real friend to talk to. I was exhausted from always being alone and feeling like anyone I'd talk to found me a bother. A lot of this loneliness was shaped by my dad. He'd tell me to make friends, then tell me not to, because friends would ruin my character. So I avoided people, especially the opposite gender, to avoid his scolding. I probably came off as someone who didn't want to socialize. During my third year, I realized my thoughts were constantly looping, and they were negative. The strategies I'd used in my second year to keep myself going weren't working anymore. I hadn't studied at all for 2 weeks, and I found myself crying in class during lectures, silently. No one noticed. I was terrified I'd repeat the year because I'd gone so long without studying and had no interest at all. At the hospital, I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. I didn't expect medication, and my parents, especially my dad, were strongly against it. Not wanting endless fights, I forwent the meds. I tried therapy, but it wasn't a good fit, so I stopped. The year passed. By fourth year, my avoidance had reached its peak. I used to pride myself on waking up earlier and studying longer than everyone else. If you're competitive, you'll get it. But now, I was sleeping more than usual, waking up only to scold myself and still not studying. I missed classes and fell behind on content, which became obvious during ward rounds. I couldn't contribute much. By the end of the year, I thought I was going to repeat. I was depressed, struggling to get through each day. Therapy again didn't help, but I told myself I'd try medication in 2025. 2025 came. I was lucky to just have a supplementary, and I finally had a friend. That small connection boosted my mood and helped me prepare. But exhaustion returned. My body would overheat. I'd get long lasting headaches, and studying remained impossible. Later in the year, I went to the hospital again, got admitted for a week, and started on major depressive disorder medications. 3 months later, after adjusting the regimen and still struggling, I realized I needed a different approach. A friend suggested another facility. That's when I was finally diagnosed with ADHD. At first, I couldn't believe it. I thought I didn't fit the criteria. But after reading about perfectionistic ADHD, everything clicked. I had always wondered why my thoughts kept replaying over and over. I'd ask a friend how to stop it, and she couldn't answer. Now I understand. It wasn't just depression, my brain was wired differently, and that made everything more challenging. Sure, rejection sensitive dysphoria still sucks, but I'm finally learning about myself. I'm understanding my patterns, accepting my struggles, and realizing that none of this is my fault. Sharing this is my way of saying if you feel different or like you can't keep up with everyone else, you're not alone and it's not your fault. There's hope and there's clarity. It just takes time and the right support. Thanks for listening.